No, and then I was literally saying, babe, we got to start locking the door. Before we talk, hold on. Joseph.
Warning. The following program is a gaggle of friends talking about happenings in the world. It is meant to be comedic, informative, and not really serious. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or this broadcasting platform. There may be some cuss words, because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are a young person, please seek permission before listening any further. Sincerely, the people of Two Tired Dads. P.S. Don't sue us.
Oh, get that fight music. Stacy, we're getting this fight music. You know why?
Getting
It's
in the
about-
zone.
Dude. I don't even want to blow it. But in 1 month, our guest, who's going to be on soon, is going to be unleashed in a cage. And he's going to turn into a monster. But right now, we're going to show a side of him to the world that not really many people get to see of him. That's being a dad. Just like
Hey.
us. Ladies and gentlemen, Devin James, along with, go ahead, introduce yourself, my friend.
Stacy Bonds. That's what we're here to do.
Stacy J, Devin James on the pod. Guys, what an episode last week. I mean, we had some good feedback, right? I mean, that was we had a strong feedback.
I love the interaction. I know.
There's a
I love
lot.
it. I love it.
Dude,
We need it.
one of the guests reached out, and you know what? I'm just gonna freaking read it, verbatim, because it's like people who need to hear things like this. I'm not gonna drop their name, but it's just one of the messages that we were talking about, protecting the kids, of what they need to do to protect the kids. And so it came down to, it says right here, yeah, hey, appreciate your episode of your podcast last week. I just want to let you know that 10 years ago, I was approached by a person down the street from me while walking from the store and invited me in their house to teach me how to wrestle. I declined at the time. When I was hearing your podcast, I researched where I was and I found out that that person was a registered sex offender, and I learned how to be a witness. So if that was 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying? It's
Thank
just
God they
like
didn't go in the house.
Right. And so, but hey, it's just, that's why
We
guys
appreciate
like
that
us.
feedback. We're
Yeah.
here for that.
And so, I mean, other than that, literally the next day, I had someone slide into my wife's DM, dude.
Hey, that's just
literally the
compliments
next
to
day.
yourself if you really think about it. I mean,
Man.
if they're not shooting, I mean, did you pick right?
Uh,
Like, you gotta, you want what others want, right? You just
I
don't,
mean,
luckily you got it.
I work hard for what I have, baby. Just like everybody else, we've been through what we have. And when you're able to find that one person to be your rock, and then it's like someone's knocking on the door, you kind of get a little offended. You kind of,
Or,
want
I take it as a compliment more so, especially if, there's no feedback, there's no comments, like we talked about,
You're
rule
right.
of thumb here, Asia
Timing is
gets a message.
everything. And Stacy, like we said at a couple weeks ago in the podcast, us dads, we're in the Great War right now, the Holiday War. Dads, we are making sure everything's staying flow. We're making sure the lights are up for the kids in a certain way. We're making
Yeah.
sure our budget is good to where we're not buying the 8-ounce cheese. We're buying the 6-ounce. We're saving that $2, dads. We're saving that $2. We're not buying the Folgers. Oh, sorry, we don't plug. But we're buying the off-brand coffee right now because those
You are
dollars
lying.
add up. I mean, hey man,
Yeah.
I know we don't plug stores, but believe it or not, there's a store that exists where if you have 4 quarters, you can buy things there. Right? That's what, like, it's called, like, the 4 quarter store or some shit. But I'm not an exchange currency man. But that's where I got my stockings. You know what I
Hey, you
mean?
can't go
Because
wrong.
because dads, as we
I like the
talked
25 quarters or below store personally, but I'm with you.
back in old 13-year-old Devin was a 5-finger discount store everywhere I went until
Oh,
you
well,
get
yeah.
caught by the wrong person.
Oh.
Dead ass.
I'm sorry.
I can't wait to bring Lucas on because I'm going to talk to him about this time where me and my buddy, old colleague, I guess we want to say now, Corton Pena, we went to a sushi AI and they both lost their shit when I opened up my briefcase. I was wearing a suit. Lucas will tell you, I used to put on fronts and go everywhere in suits like I was some fucking hot shit motherfucker. And I pulled
Fake
out
it till
this
you make it, baby.
Oh yeah, but I pull out this briefcase with Pena and fucking Court, and at the sushi restaurant, I had these Ziploc bags, and I said, "You guys gonna eat?" And I just started shoving them in there, and I would close my briefcase, and that was my like dinner and lunch for like so.
Hey,
Dude, I'm
make it
all
work.
about the savings, but us dads, we got to make sure it keeps moving. Is what I'm saying. I mean,
What's your number one savings tip? Since you're all about savings.
hey, put everything in categories and then tally it up. Entertainment, needs, demands, and then food is its own category. And on the entertainment side, Carrie and I, we put our heads together and we're basically going to be saving like $80 going into 2024 on entertainment things.
Nice.
Food, we're fucked because everything's going up. So it's like, no matter
Tell me about it.
Right. And then, right now, just like a lot of dads, we're
It's a
constantly
cigarette, guys.
calculating shit how to cut costs. So I'm gonna make usually I'm gonna make it quick. Usually we talk for like 15 minutes, but I'm gonna bring in the first song. And then when we come back, we're gonna bring Lucas on, man. I mean, I missed the dude. I literally had a shit day at work. It wasn't to anyone's fault, but just I guess I'm gonna blame it on the position of the moon, man. But it's like
Oh no,
on the
what
drive.
really went on?
No, it was just hey. Sam and Oliver have been sick for 2 days, and I'm not doing as much work as Carrie, but it's just catching up to me where I was just like, man, I am tired. And so, but when I was on the drive home, I'm like, dude, I'm about to shoot the shit with like Lucas and Stacy. So let's play our song. This is a good song. It's a chill song. And okay, this is for all the dads out there doing everything they can. And if they want to dedicate to this, their special other one, do it. This is Loving Caliber Christmas Memories, baby.
Oh, oh, da 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 da, oh, oh, da 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 da, oh, oh, da 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 da, making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. 'Cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree. And I've lit my house with Christmas lights. So you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about gonna be you and me. Hanging by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Yeah, I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this
Blah blah blah. That's a dope song.
I like that song.
Dude,
I like
mean,
that
it's
one. That was
so
a good choice.
catchy,
Good choice.
Right, man. I mean, at the
Send
end
me
of the
that.
day- I will, dude. I mean, again, that was Christmas memories. Loving Caliber. You know
Welcome.
what I mean? Dude,
My bad.
yes. Holy shit. Ladies
That's a
and
bad
gentlemen.
motherfucker right there, gentlemen.
Listen, we have none other than the baddest motherfucker in the Midwest. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that this man, if he actually did I just say if? Did I just say if? Holy shit. You know what we got to do? I'm sorry. I just said if. Go ahead. When he becomes a professional wrestler, he's going to make me his manager. But right now he's focusing on MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas goddamn Blessing Clay is the man. Lucas,
Exactly.
Welcome.
you don't even do interviews. And
Nah.
you're coming on my show. Like, that's how, like, you must be
Thank you.
bored.
Yeah, nah, because you're you. I gotta come on your show.
Hey, man.
Hey,
I love you.
we love it.
Guys,
I love
listen,
that.
we're about to see a side of you that not a lot of people see. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, the best side. The best side.
you do
Yes,
post
sir.
on the Instagram, and you know what? Let's go ahead. We don't have where it is. There we go. Yeah, go ahead. Follow Lucas Clay on Instagram right now. Cassius Clay _MMA. Who gave you that nickname, man?
It's not a nickname. Cassius Clay is my government name. The Lucas Cassius Clay, that's the name I was born with.
Yes.
Hey, that's dope.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude. Here I'm thinking Kenny Nowling gave you that shit back on some Fight Hard stage for the past 6 years, and I didn't question it. Okay.
Yeah, man. It grinds my gears when they put it in what do you call it? The quotation.
Parentheses. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm like, because I always tell them, I make it a point to say, hey, this is not a nickname. I'm using my full name. My nickname is the Awkward Ninja. So I put that at the beginning. The Awkward
I like
Ninja,
that.
Lucas Cassius Clay. And they always mess it up every single time.
I
So
hope
what
I
makes you
didn't
the
like-
awkward ninja? I'm just curious. I gotta ask. That's an interesting nickname.
I play way too much Tekken, so I try to fight like what's the name, Eddie Goro, and like I just have always had bad technique, and I had to make it work. So I have an unorthodox style, and it actually works. I can't teach it. I try to teach people my techniques, and they end up armbarring themselves. I don't get it, but.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah. So some dude was like, yeah, he's like a ninja, but awkward. We're gonna call him the Awkward Ninja, and it's been a thing for like 5 years.
Hey,
Yes,
take it and run
yes.
with it.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you started MMA at 14.
Yep. Yes, sir. I'm a
Okay,
lifelong martial artist, but I've been training professionally and like in a more structured for MMA way since I was 14. But I did karate and judo as a kid, because my dad was a lifelong martial artist too, and he's my first coach.
Okay, so that might be the answer to my question, because it's going to be kind of a general. I'm sure you've answered it a million times, but what led you to MMA, not boxing, not jiu-jitsu tournaments, but just MMA, combat
Yeah,
sports? Period?
it definitely was a mixture of my dad and watching a movie called Never Back Down. Like
Oh,
Never Back Down is what made martial arts seem cool to me. Like that's really the reason why.
2008,
Yeah.
2009.
It's something about the tornado kick at the house party fight that made me think, oh yeah, I can do that. I'm doing that for sure.
Oh,
I
it
was in the gym the next month.
Yeah, it made the chick.
Okay.
Like he got the chick, like just from. I was
So
like,
how
dude,
many
if I-
tornado kicks have you landed? Sorry,
Uh,
Devin. Sorry.
in,
No,
in
saying I
in practice, at least a dozen, but in a fight, none. Um,
Okay.
I will change that though. That I
so
Thank
will
you.
not retire without
January 13th.
yeah, a
so
wheel. I already crossed a buggy choke off my bucket list. Now it's a tornado kick and a wheel kick. I'm gonna get those.
so you
Okay, so yeah,
started
you're definitely
MMA at
taking protected.
you started
Sorry.
MMA at 14. No, it's all good. You started MMA at 14. You became a dad at 15.
Yes.
Early start.
Walk us through
Yeah,
that.
man.
No,
I
no,
was
no.
moving. I was moving way too soon. But yeah,
And so, I
Well,
mean,
let
because
me.
that would, yeah, go ahead, Stacy.
I was gonna say, being a dad at a young age, being in combat sports, how do you find it hard to, or do you find it hard to kind of discuss conflict resolution with your kids
oh,
to not use
absolutely, man.
violence?
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's something I'm passionate about because, especially because I got all girls, and I try to. I gotta parent them in a more gentle way than I was parented, and I come from a pretty tough spot. I mean, I grew up in the county. I went to Normandy most of my life until they lost their accreditation. Again. I kind of hustled my way around. I went to Ladue for a year, then I went to St. Charles for a year. But really, I'm from the hood, so everybody was tough on me, and I was part of the generation that still fought. Before middle schoolers. Well, middle schoolers were carrying guns back then, but they weren't using them. But
Yeah.
it's like whenever my daughter my youngest daughter comes home and talks about an issue she had at school, I try to tell her how she should go about it. But I'm thinking, like, for me, I would have had to punch that kid in the face. It's like it wouldn't have been optional. I wouldn't have been able to have this talk, or else I would have been getting whooped at home. By my brothers. But
Well, that actually leads me to my next question, which is how do you handle a bully situation, or when your kid witnesses a bully situation? Are you a turn the other cheek? Are you talk it down before engaging conflict?
man, I hope I don't say something that causes issues
Hey,
for
this
me
is
right
all
now. Because this
Go
gonna be
ahead.
on the internet forever. But like where I'm from, you gotta swing hard. And you gotta swing first, and you gotta make an example out of anybody that tries to make you a victim publicly. You gotta make sure, and you gotta make it loud. You gotta make sure everybody's watching and remember it because the way humans think, you gotta stay in their brain, and that
Mhm.
that you going over the top to handle that one situation makes it to where you'll never have to handle another situation. People will go remember if you do that in elementary school, and as long as you don't change schools, you gonna be a bad motherfucker till you in high school. You gotta
Preach.
you gotta you gotta earn everybody's memory.
Yeah.
Hey, that is honestly, I'm glad you gave that answer because I was afraid you were gonna, hit me with the, politically correct. Oh, we turn the other cheek. No, I didn't go to Normandy. I went to your rival school, Rittner. I didn't graduate from
Oh
there. I graduated from
man,
West. But it's like you just said, hit fast, hit hard, and it's funny because our freshman year, the SROs, the school resource officers, came into the rooms, and were like, "You guys think you're fighters? A street fight should last 30 to 45 seconds." And in the end of 30 to 45 seconds, somebody knows who won, somebody knows who lost. At the end of that, we're coming in, And so it was one of those things in high school that was the goal: 30, 45 seconds, put somebody to sleep. You know what I mean? Or finish it off
yeah.
however.
It's
So
funny you
that,
say that because I rarely saw a fight happen longer than 15 seconds, and in a 10-second street fight, the loser looks different, like missing teeth, but two black eyes, gashes, like because most of the time people don't realize they don't know how to fight, and
No.
even the guy who's a bad dude on the street doesn't know how to fight if he goes into like an MMA gym or anything,
Hmm.
and uh most street fights people don't really get hurt because nobody knows how to fight, but people forget how lethal hand-to-hand combat is.
Hmm.
Like
seriously,
brain bleeds are real, deep
you fall, hit
lacerations
your
are
head on the
real.
concrete. Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I,
as you credit growing up, your father being your father figure, I mean, is that
Mhm.
like who made you like, who you are today is like you as a father? Because as you said, you had it rough. And so like now, as you said, you know what I mean? Is that So talk to me
Yeah,
about it.
absolutely. My dad, I was fortunate enough to be one of the young men in my community who actually had a relationship with his dad. Even if guys knew their dads, they didn't really have a relationship. I knew people who lived with their dads and didn't have a relationship with their dad. But even in my dad's older age now, I know my place as his son. That's my dad first, but we actually have a friendship. And he's my source of wisdom because I know how to listen. I'm a very coachable individual. Once I know that you know what you're talking about, I'm all ears. And my dad never he talked to me a lot. When I was a kid, he didn't talk to me like I was a lesser human. He didn't talk to me like I was incompetent. He talked to me like he would talk to anybody else. And I do the same thing with my daughter. And a lot of things he did, uh, I find myself doing even to this day. And I wanted to think that I was original, but no, he was very impressionable on me. Obviously, almost every podcast I go on and on about him, but like I said, he's my source of wisdom, and I model a huge part of the man I am after him because I respected him.
And
And
so,
that's
yeah, go Stacey, go baby.
well, I was gonna say one that's honorable. You know what I mean? But the second part of that is, like you said, he's your father first. You earned the friendship. You know what I mean? And I think that's
Yeah.
what we talked about on the last podcast was we have too many parents out here wanting to be friends before parents. And that guidance that we get at that young age, we look to them for that guidance. And I know like your dad stepped into that position, it sounds like completely tremendously. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
that's awesome. And it's one of those things that when you this is kind of a weird question, but what is something that you find yourself saying that you can recall? My dad said this to me, and when you're saying it to your daughter, does it play in your head like, man, I remember hearing this?
Man, every day. Here's the saying: somebody's got to be the hero. My dad would say that to me. My dad was he was a tradesman. He was in the HVAC industry, maintenance industry, and he always told me these stories about how he saved the day at work. And when he was doing martial arts, we're talking about the old school dojo war days of judo, karate, all of that, where people were storming dojos. So
Mhm.
when people at these tournaments, they were like a game war more than a martial arts competition. And he would always say, somebody got to be the hero. And he likes it when odds are stacked up against him and he still emerges on top. So I tell my daughter that. I'm like, because one thing I'm trying to work with her on right now, she panics a lot. And I'm like, come on over here. I'm gonna tell you how to get over that anxiety, that fear. First off, you got to come to the situation with a clear mind because if you're all scrambling over the place, you can't be the hero, and somebody's got to be the hero. And she's getting tired of me saying that, and I'm like, why do I say that so much? Oh, Dad told me that.
So, well, which leads me to another, in my mind, it's a great question. Not going to say it is, but at what point do you draw the line of don't be the hero?
When it comes at the expense of your loved ones. So sacrifice what you can without sacrificing the resources that you reserve for your family.
Say that again. That's deep. That's knowledge right there. I like that. Don't sacrifice yourself. Don't sacrifice the family. I
Yeah,
like that.
sacrifice what you can. If it's at the end of the world and you've been stockpiling, if you got a couple of cans for the people next door, give it. God bless you. But when it comes to if it gets to the point where you're going to have to ration the resources that you stockpile for your family, that's foolishness.
So,
I agree.
so
I
now,
100%
so
agree.
as you would say, your dad's your coach. He's in your
Mhm.
corner on your fights. I'm gonna take you through some early fights, and I want you to tell me where you were at in the dad zone of your time. Let's open up with the first fight that I saw you at personally in the crowd. Lucas Clay taking on Tyler Madden. That was May 18th, 2014, if I'm correct, at the Heart of St. Charles.
Yes, sir.
You both were at 170. Maybe it was 180. I know it was very super fucking early in your careers.
Mhm.
Take me waking up that day, dad mode. Go.
Okay. So I was thinking about Tyler. I'm like, I can't lose to him because we went to high school together. Everybody I know, he know. And I'm like, I've been training longer than him. We the same age, but really, I'm a senior citizen in fight years. Like you got to age me in dog years in fighting, and he about to see the dog in me. So and I've been kind of wanting to fight him because we wrestled, and I know I memorized some of his weakness just because that's the way I think. If I notice something, I'm gonna remember it forever. So I was just playing in different scenarios over and over again. As we get closer to the fight, I start thinking, man, this dude is hella big. Like, I don't know how he's even finna make my weight. And I just noticed the size of his arm. I'm like, I don't even know how he got so buff. I'm like, he ain't got no chin. Because I love Tyler. He my boy and all, but he literally has no chin. It's like lip, neck. And I'm like, how am I going to hit that? It's a small target. And I'm like, I gotta go for that temples. That's legit a problem that I thought about. I'm like, how am I gonna hit his chin? It's so small. And I'm like, I'm gonna strangle him. He can't tuck his chin because he ain't got no chin. So then I hit him, and it actually played out in one of my scenarios. I thought he was gonna show me a triangle and everything, but Tyler is one of the toughest dudes I've ever known.
Dude, you know what sucks about that? You know what sucks about that is that I joined AOC like September, so that took place in May, and I came up in the September. I trained with Tyler because he didn't come back into the gym until September, and his time schedule matched perfectly with the new fucking guy. But every time I trained with Tyler, he didn't see this beautiful fucking face. He thought Lucas the whole fucking time because he's like, dude, he whooped my ass for like 3 whole months, like all because I was the brand new guy, and literally Tyler would just come in and be like, I'm gonna get that back somehow. And I mean, the guys never but like, I mean, he did go on a tear of his own after that. You got to give the guy credit for that.
Absolutely. And plus, I am a hard person to deal with for anybody because I'm awkward. If Tyler would have fought somebody my same experience level who fought by the book and didn't have such a crafty style, he would have demolished him. Like, he had the size, the strength, and the technique. I am not technical. You know how at the Heart of St. Charles in the warm-up area, it's just one big room. You can look over and see the guy you're fighting warming up. I saw Tyler hitting pads. He threw a kick, and I'm like, that would definitely break my ribs. And I got scared. I'm like, this is going to be a grappling match for sure. And I'm usually, pretty violent with my striking.
Now, how tall are you, baby?
I'm 5'11" and 3/4.
And he's like, what, 6'1"? I mean, he's tall.
Yeah, I think he's like 6'1". I definitely look up to him when I talk to him.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just curious, when you, based off what you just said, you see him kicking a pad and that's breaking my ribs. How do you bury like, as a person, I've never done MMA. Okay, gloves, one thing. I'll get in boxing gloves with you, but not you. But somebody that doesn't know how to fight professionally. Like, but as far as how do you bury that fear of, damn, don't get hit, or he could really break something?
Man, the safest place is the eye of the storm. I run straight in. I know for a fact that this man can kick hard, so that's not changing. Like I just said, that's fact. I have to adapt to that somehow, some way, and I don't want to take that kick. That's now all of my thought investment is on that stock. How do I not get kicked?
So where was the kids on that day?
I don't even remember, to be honest.
I mean,
we're going back to time there, Devin.
Like they stay. Like, they weren't at the home front, or they weren't in the crowd, or
when did
your kids start attending fights, if I can ask that?
So just recently. Like, my youngest is the only one who goes to the fights, and she has only been to one, and I only let her because she begged me. Like, she really wanted to watch me fight, but I have to give you a little bit of a backstory really quick.
Yeah.
She was born with spina bifida, and you don't outgrow spina bifida. You have it for your entire life. And she had a very rare form of spina bifida where her spine didn't connect in the shoulder blades, right in the shoulder blade region. And with spina bifida, usually anything below the affected area doesn't work. It's like a break in a coax cable. Nothing else can get signal. So really, she wasn't supposed to be able to breathe on her own. But somehow, by some miracle, she took a deep breath when during delivery. She walks, talks. You wouldn't know that she's not a typical kid. She's my miracle, but she loves martial arts. She has a great technique. I remember when she was 2 years old, she could barely stand up, and she was shadow boxing, copying me. And I teach her all the time, and it just that connection, because of all my brothers and sisters, I'm the only one who gravitated towards martial arts like my dad. That was our bond. My youngest daughter is that way. She has that bond with me, and it's like what do you call that? Telekinesis, what the talk with the head. Like we can communicate without words by shadow boxing. It tells me that she sees me and I see her, and she looks up to me. Something she sees in me, she admires, so she wants to copy it. But anyway, she begged me to see one of my fights, and that's she just made my last fight against Bobby Lee. Unfortunately, she saw me lose, but
hey, Bobby Lee. I mean, dude,
Hey,
listen,
she got to
here's
see the reality of the situation too, though.
yeah, and she
Like,
didn't.
even just like, I'm not even trying to say this, dude. Do you not realize the fucking level that you're at, bro? Like,
Yeah,
like that. Like, don't even beat yourself up, because here's the thing: when the aliens come and they're like, "Devin, we're here. Did you follow your grandfather's orders?" I'm gonna be like, "Yeah," and I'm gonna call you and I'm like, "Hey, remember you said call me whenever I need anything?" And you're gonna be like, "Yeah, what's up, bro?" I'd be like, "Well, the aliens are fucking here and they like are ready to throw hands. Kind of need
shit,
you."
I'll
Like,
be there. I'm
right? I
speed
know
over
you
there.
will. I
Bruh.
know. Like, that's what I'm saying. And
I'm like, step
so,
aside, bro. I'm about to show them
no,
some shit.
and
I'm
so,
about to show him some
like,
shit. Hey, that
like,
tornado kid coming on that
That's
one.
what I'm
Like,
saying. Tornado and a heel kick. I can't miss.
I want to wind back the clock. I want to wind
well,
back the
really quick,
clock
because
to.
I want to ask
Oh, go
one
ahead. Go
question
ahead.
really
Go ahead.
quick,
Go
Devin,
ahead.
on based on what you just said about the loss. What is, and this is something that I think, one, how do you deal with the loss, right? But how for with your daughter being present, right? Of course, you take it a little bit more serious. You know, it's something that's going to hit home, of course, because we're dads. That's what it is. So, how is it how do you handle your loss, but how do you relay that to your children to use a loss as a positive rather than a go in a corner?
So I had to be really careful to conceal my emotions because that's something I'm teaching her. I teach her because sometimes she busts out in tears, and I'm like, sometimes things don't go our way, but that has to be our secret. If we can't make our problem everybody else's problem, and that goes both ways. So I had to pretend to be okay with the loss, and I'm clearly not. But actually, I was able to take my own advice because sometimes, even as dads, we don't practice what we preach, and I was forced to because I'm like, she's going to have an argument if I sit here and sulk the whole drive back because we had an 8-hour drive back home, and I'm like. I gotta at least suck it up until we get home where I can go into the bathroom and scream at the mirror. But um, that loss was tougher on me than any other loss because I've lost the same exact way every single time in mixed martial arts competition. I've gotten out wrestled for 2 rounds and then fought back hard and realized at the end of the fight that there was a fight that I could have won the whole time. I had the skills over the guy that I was losing to. I have no explanation. So I'm more driven than ever to patch these holes in my game. But yeah, her being present made me conceal my emotion.
Well, so, and good ass answer. Now, really quick. So, as I was saying, let's talk about the fight that put you on the map. I mean, you were already on the map as the fastest rising amateur in the Midwest. Granted, it was written by Brad Otten, who I think is super biased. But I mean, granted, so am I. But what I'm saying is, me and Otten can agree that you're the man.
Right on.
It's you versus Sam Tamayo, baby. No, I mean, hey, Lucas, that was the first time I saw a dude almost die.
Yeah.
So I am not over exaggerating.
Damn.
Like,
Damn.
I mean, go, hey, take, okay. I mean, you want me to paint the picture? All right, here we go. Hey, I can't remember the day. I think it was September of 16 or 15 or some shit. The
Yeah.
dude
August or
stepped
September.
the dude stepped up last minute. Family fucking arena, 8,000 people in attendance. Title
Yeah.
fight. Lucas, I can tell you how it ended, so I want you to pick up. It ended with Sam's fiance or whatever at the time holding him in her arms and like crying at Lucas, and I was like, bruh,
Yeah,
so
bro.
good.
What's that about?
How does that not affect you mentally? How, like, you sleep good at night? You sleep okay?
Nah, I blocked that out,
That
bro.
shit went viral.
So he
All
signed
right,
up for
go
this
ahead.
shit.
Take me through the fight. Walk me
All
through
right,
it.
all right. You tagging me in? All right.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yes, I knew just a little bit about Sam. I didn't have much time to prepare for him because he was a last minute replacement, and he
Because no one wanted to fight you. I'm sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, I stressed people out, but when I knew he was going to be a great wrestler. I knew he had a wrestling background. Just a little bit about him. I knew he was strong, and he was extremely. He had a Man, there's no other way to say it. For lack of better words, he had an impressive physique. And I always feel like I lack that. I'm not buff. I don't got big pecs and a six pack and big arms and everything. So when I see dudes like that, it used to intimidate me, face value and whatnot. But when I thought he was going to take
Chin.
me down, I just knew he was going to blast double me. He's the only person to ever drop me in my life. He dropped me with an overhand right because he faked the takedown. It's like he read my mind. I was like, yeah, I got something for you. Go ahead and take me down.
First 2
Came right
minutes.
over the top. Now here's the
First 2
crazy
minutes.
part. Here's the crazy part. All I saw was a flash, a really quick flash, and I had no sense of time. Like I didn't know how much time had passed by, but I remember I was looking at him, and then he hit me. I saw a flash, and now I'm looking up at him. And all I thought to myself, he must have just dropped me because I realized I was still in a fight. It was all coming back to me. I got pissed off. Like I started seeing red, but I hallucinated too because I saw a big sign behind him. It was pink and it was like in bubble letters, like a 70s car wash. It said, "It's a fucking fight now." True story. That's exactly what I saw. I know the sign wasn't there, but I saw it, and
Yeah.
and this rage came over my body. I didn't care what it took from me. I didn't care if he killed me in that cage. I just wanted to hit him at least one time because he hit me. He, for some reason, that didn't sit right with me. He hit me. My mom's in the crowd. My ladies in the crowd. My dad. My coaches. He had to pay for that. So I chased him. I tried to take him down. I couldn't because he was a great wrestler, but I ended up dropping him with a beautiful spinning back fist. Every technique that I hit him with, I had learned that week. I hit him with a fake takedown and spinning back fist. He dropped. I baptized him. He fell to his knees and he was like sitting straight up, and I hit him with Zach Freeman's guillotine. If you haven't seen Zach Freeman's choke with Pico, one of the best upsets in MMA history. Nobody except for our team believed in Zach Freeman that night. And that same guillotine, and you, but I hit him with that same guillotine. Zach showed me that on a Wednesday. I hit it. I think that was a Saturday, and it was like off and never back down. You know how the training scene plays into the fight? That's what it felt like.
Sacrifice, self-pretense, don't hit that fire. Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, so, I mean, that's when he fell right into your shit. You scarred his loved one for life. No, I'm joking. But fucking,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
I mean,
You
as you
probably
say the
did.
Neon story, I mean, man to man, I'll just be up front. I've only told like 2 people this story just to relate. When I fought Kenny, when I came back in 2021, and I fought Kenny Salinas, and he caught me with an overhand right, I saw a flash of light, and then the next thing I know, I was in the middle of my work, and I saw what was known as a recap script flash between my eyes, and I saw one of my buddies, Trevor, in an empty room with no one else there, just him, just looking at me with a sadistic smile. And I
Oh
just hear,
damn.
Goku, which is what my grandkids call me. And it was Sam's voice, high pitched, like echoing. And right then and there, I was like, I don't want this because he's not a fucking alien, and I'm not destined to fight Kenny Salinas. I'm destined to fight aliens. So now I know for sure, like, I'm supposed to fight aliens. And
I completely
went,
understand.
right. And then, like, I finished the fight like a man and fucking didn't tap, and I got my ass beat, and the ref pulled me off. And fucking, yeah, dude. Yeah, so I get the hallucination. That's your coming to Jesus moment where you realize you're gonna fight fucking gladiators, you're gonna fight aliens.
I don't know, bro. Yours just sounded very traumatizing.
Yeah, dude. I'm like Trevor West, or who are we talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
dead ass, dude.
and
And that's what made me believe. That's what, dude. I'm telling you, that's what made me believe. Like, I belong at work. I don't belong in a cage. And so it was like one of those things. That yeah, that's a dead ass, dude. I told Trevor that I fucking found him the next day, or when I saw him at work, because I didn't see him because it was during the pandemic. And it was like during my first week I saw him. I was like, hey, what the fuck were you doing in another multiverse? Like, he was like, what are you talking? And I was like, hey,
Yeah. Say, why was you smiling like that, bro?
It
What
was
you
like,
thinking?
dude, he was literally like holding the script and just smiling. And it was an
Man.
empty ass floor. And I was like,
damn.
I'm being called home.
You know, that's like I don't know if you've seen that movie Smile, but I couldn't sleep for 2 days. I'm a grown man.
Oh,
You know, I
shit.
own firearms and everything, but I still couldn't sleep. You know, it really kind of scared me. Like I was
Reminds me. We
wait
gotta
a
go
minute,
shoot.
have you guys not seen it?
Oh,
I have
haven't
not.
seen
I'm
it,
gonna
but
check it out tonight, though.
You,
Just
All right,
because
you're
you
gonna
yeah.
come shooting with us now that I forgot. We need to go shooting soon. So
Yes, sir.
fast forward,
Casey's no longer allowed to go shoot firearms
I
until
want
the
to
case is
talk
closed.
about something that's controversial,
Sorry.
and I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but I'm allowed to say shit because it fucking pissed me the fuck off. So we're gonna backtrack just a little bit. Not too long ago, when you busted your fucking wiener for over a shit ton of years, finally get called up by the fucking Ultimate Fighter, and I'm not trying to piss you off, Lucas. This is friend to friend. I'm allowed to say this. I'm allowed to say this, and you know this because it fucking pisses me off. Because as someone who's seen you cut that fucking weight, someone who's seen you die on the fucking scale, someone who's almost fucking killed a man, and someone who knows that I know when you stupid fucking aliens show up, I got an army of badasses. So hurry the fuck up. At the end of the day, the Ultimate Fighter, you got called up, you got even announced. You got announced on ESPN. And then Conor McGregor made a fucking phone call and had 4 of his stupid idiot South Blast gym idiots replace 4 other hard-earned motherfuckers against McGregor versus Chandler, which you got the boot. I don't want to rip off the Band-Aid. Take me through.
Well, you did. Oh
yeah, of course. I mean, shut up, Stacey.
I mean, so the thing is, nobody. Conor McGregor kind of made a remark that kind of confirmed it. I don't know if he was just trying to stir up some mess on the internet or if he was actually saying, "Yeah, I did." So what? But yeah, man, it was tough. I thought that was what I prayed for. I'm like, thank you, God, or you know, thank you, universe, for dropping this in my lap. You know, I finally here getting it because that's all I wanted. I just want a chance to show my talent and my skill compared to world class talent. People that have been confirmed to be world class talent. But I was there for weeks, maybe even like almost a month. But they basically had us in the hotel. We did a lot of photo shoots. We were going to the Apex a lot and just doing interviews. And like confessionals and everything. We were just shooting little videos like that, and the people were pretty cool. They're all of the producing team, but we were wondering why is it taking so long? Because they told us we were only going to be in a hotel for a week to do all of that, and then they were going to put us in.
Can I ask a question? I mean, I'm so wait. This was like holy shit. So you're saying you were like in production and shit because
Yeah,
this shit, hey, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm dead. Hey, this shit was announced, and then like literally 2 days, motherfucking later, you were de-announced. You're telling me right fucking now you were like in production. Okay,
yeah.
continue.
Everything except for moved into the house, but so we because that's why. So pretty much the Ultimate Fighter brought us out, and we go through all of the process of uh making sure that we don't have brands and everything that they're not going to air. You know what I mean? But for like the same reason why you're not trying to do plugs. You don't want
Like
to drop
sponsors.
yeah, yeah, but it'd be disrespectful to your sponsor if you're sponsored by this beer brand, but you show this beer brand's logo. But anyway, so were going through all my stuff and everything. They took my phone. Um, uh, they told me that we'd be moved into the house the next morning, which is what we were waiting for. But they said it was going to be at 11 a.m. Now, the weeks that I was there, they were almost never early. It was either right on time or a little late, but they were like a half hour, 45 minutes early when they knocked on my door. I'm like, shit, that's nice for a change. But this dude came in with a real sad look on his face, and then he was just, taking a bunch of deep breaths, struggling to start his sentence. And then he asked me, could he have a seat? I'm like, make yourself at home. And then he was like, you've been moved to an alternate. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? He was like, if somebody gets hurt, you'll get in. I'm like, bro, everybody here is thinking this is the lottery. Nobody's going to pull out of this. What
Right.
does that mean? He said, you can stay here. But they wouldn't allow me out of hotel except for 1 hour a day. It felt like prison. I felt like I was getting yard time. But so I would have had to stay in the room with no phone, no communication with the outside world, no ability to train. They didn't have like coaches there to be hit miss for me and done it. All I can do is go to the hotel gym. They was going to have me do that on the hope of somebody dropping out. I said,
Hey,
nah,
I
man.
have a good idea. Let's have a ranking motherfucker just sit there and get fat.
Yeah.
You
You know
know,
what I was
so
thinking? I was like, let me and whoever got picked, let us fight for it. Let us fight for that spot. I'm down for that.
Mhm.
Like that seemed
it's
like
like
the
how the
obvious
election
option.
should be.
Fighter mentality.
I'm like, I just want to fight, bro. Like, I don't feel like I even got a chance.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It is what
As a
it is,
person
though.
hearing this from the, hey, that just means there's better blessings to come. In
Amen.
my opinion, that's how I look at it. There's always bigger blessings. That may
And
have just been
so
the
What?
step.
and I think what really fucking bothered me, and then again, I look at everything from a pro wrestling angle, but they showed like your highlight of you losing to that stupid idiot in LFA, like on the Ultimate Fighter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then some stupid idiot like tagged you like being a stupid idiot and was like, "Oh, Lucas Clay did make the Ultimate Fighter." LOL. And I'm like, "You're a stupid idiot." But then again, I
I got a
don't,
That,
question
that was
that
kind of
kind of
funny, though.
it goes in the realm because I actually was watching one of your LFA fights where you finished a guy with a Darcy choke, right? And
Yeah.
is what they called it online. I don't know technicalities. I'm not in
Yeah, you
jujitsu.
saying it right. Darcy or Darcy, but yeah.
And so I'm curious from a person I see, you're a brown belt in jujitsu, that maybe have increased by now. But as far as what do you think is the hardest submission to land, and what is the hardest submission to escape?
Hardest submission to land. Uh, damn, that's a good one. Um, I guess to actually
shit.
finish it, I found a Google plotter to actually be pretty hard to finish. Like I'll get it on somebody, and it's just really hard to attack the Adam's apple. but the hardest one to escape. It depends on who you're going with. CJ Hunter has an incredible Peruvian necktie. Once he throws that leg over your head, it's almost over. But somebody like Sampo, if a rear naked choke gets locked in and they do this and then swim behind the head, that's the hardest one for sure. It's almost a done deal because you only got like 0.4 seconds to get out of it.
Unless you're doing it to me.
Well, my question in that 0.4 seconds as a person that doesn't do MMA, in that 0.4 seconds, what should we be trying to do to get out of it?
If it's in the sport match, you should be tapping. If it's on the street, you should grab that. You should grab that man's genitalia and twist it.
If you're Devin, you're
Hey,
perfectly fine.
that is a real ass answer because like that's real shit. If you're in a match, tap. If not, hey, twist his nuts off. Hey, real shit.
Yeah,
That's real.
bro. If you want to live and you're on the street, because you don't know if he choke you out, that he just gonna leave your lifeless body alone, your unanimated body. You still have life in you, but yeah, you want to grab his genitals and twist it. It's your last hope.
Oh, that's a real. Well, so fast forward. So enough about the balls and the wieners. But,
Well, I have another question that leads into this before we jump too far ahead. I'm curious, what do you think the most painful submission is? Because I mean, the choke.
The
I can say I've
as he
been.
just said.
Well, I mean,
the
that's
most
not
what
something
are
you can do in a match, Devin. Okay,
Of
like.
course it is.
I mean, I'm sure there are people that cheat. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying is a choke. They're painful. They hurt sometimes even more so after the fact than when you're in it. But what would you say? And I say that from like being, they hold that in. You might be hurting the next day after that. What do you think is the most?
Bro, it's gonna sound stupid, but a wrist lock. It's like you can get caught in most submissions, and it's like a very brief moment of pain. But the one of the least lethal moves is the most painful. And yeah, I'd say either a wrist lock or a toe hold. It's an annoying like it's more of an agitation than a pain, but it's harder to ignore. You know what I mean?
Also, really quick, let me just say, if you're on a time schedule, we're going past the hour. I just grabbed 2 beers. Lucas, I fucking missed you, bro. Like, I'll fucking say it out loud.
Hey,
man.
we're not on the time frame.
Yeah, we're not on a time schedule. Dude, I fucking missed you, man. Like, this is cool.
Likewise,
But,
brother.
So let's
Well,
talk
nice
about
meeting
it.
you.
No,
Yeah.
dude, listen. Here. Can I just tell you when I fell in love with Lucas? I'm gonna fucking talk about it. He probably don't remember. Maybe he does remember. July, when I fought Roper, when I definitely shouldn't have been in the cage. I was back warming up, and Lucas is downstairs. We're in the same fucking locker room. And this dude pulls out a Subway sandwich and just starts eating. And I'm fucking straight chilling, listening to my music, and I'm nervous as fuck. And I just look at him, I go, hey, can I have a bite? And he just fucking looks at me and he fucking hands me a sandwich and let me take a bite. And he fucking, and I was like,
That's that fight culture, though, man. That's that gym culture.
Was that
I was gonna give you the whole half. I thought you were, yeah, like I really respect, brother, you got a good spirit because for you to ask, I was thinking this dude is all right.
So then fast forward, we're in a fight hard locker room now. This is like a year and a half later, and I'm eating fucking cashews during a fight meeting. And Lucas is standing right there with his arms crossed, not fucking with anyone. And next thing you know, let me stand up so I can fucking do it right. We're standing there and we're listening to fight meeting bullshit. And Lucas just goes, I was like, oh, yeah, fucking, I got you. Because I'm like, this is the sandwich run back. Like, I fucking know exactly what this is from. Like, it. And I was like, dude, like, and that's what it's like. That's what I know. When the aliens come and they're like, Devin, did you do everything your grandfather said? I'm going to say, yeah. And they're going to say, choose your army. Lucas, you're up, buddy.
Yes, sir.
So,
I've been waiting for this.
So, Shamrock, baby. We got Shamrock. And I say we because Stacy and I are going to be there.
Hey, man.
Hey, SB3 will be there, too. I'm bringing the little man. Like,
Kids not allowed, baby.
I was going to say, they gonna let you bring him?
Yeah, the 21
Hey,
and
shit,
up
he a grown
only.
man. Nobody knows it. He a midget.
Yeah,
You know
there
what
we
I'm
go.
saying?
We'll figure it out.
Just
Rob
small
Donaker
person.
will
Small
cover it.
person. Sorry.
Talk
Don't get
about
us
it.
canceled. Don't get us
You
canceled.
ready?
Yeah.
Talk about it, baby. Who you got?
So I got to bounce back from that loss with Bobby Lee, and I got to do it in a pretty fashion. But more than anything, I'm falling back in love with the pureness of unarmed combat. I like to get violent with another man one on one, and I've been polishing up my game, patching holes, and I really want to prove to the MMA gods that I belong, man. I've been touched by I've been touched by God, man. This is what I can do. This is fighting is one of few things that I've naturally been good at. Like I was tapping people out my first day in the gym. I went to state my first year of wrestling. I won Golden Gloves, even though I never had a boxing match before that or real boxing training. Fighting is what I do. If you put me and another human one on one, I'll figure it out. And I have to prove that this is my life's work. And Shamrock is the first of this rebirth.
Of the mini.
Yeah.
First
Well,
of the
tag
mini
me
to
in
come.
because let me tell you something, everyone. Right now, listen up. My name is Devin James.
Wrestler
And my
announcer.
friend Lucas Clay is going to beat the living shit out of whoever it is come January 13th. You think this man needs to prove anything to you people? Let me tell you why he doesn't. Because Mr. So-called Money Mac knows about this man. Dana White knows about this man. All those stupids at Love Foundation Association know this man. Everybody at the Nemesis Fighting Alliance know this man. And if this man was going to come into the pro wrestling industry, I would be standing there right there telling you why you should all buy a ticket, why you should all download the stupid idiot app, whatever Jesse announced the other day, to download this fight, to go ahead and spend the whatever, probably $20.
What are you on, Dazen?
Get a no, it's something.
It's
But
Triller
Let him
TV.
plug it. Say it again.
It's Triller TV.
that's it, Triller. But go ahead and download it because let me tell you something. In fucking 3 years, when this man is done paying his way past dues, gets his shot, he was on Two Tired Dads. And anyone that questions him can just say this: I ate the same sandwich as Lucas Clay.
Hey, that's awesome.
I mean,
Oh, that's
Lucas,
awesome.
I mean, brother, so how much, I mean, we got to ask, how much is left in the tank do you feel, baby?
My gauge is inconsistent because every now and again I think I should just put all of my effort. And by the way, I'm still a brown belt. I desire to be a black belt before 30, and I'm 28, so that has leave me a lot of time.
Oh, you got more than time.
Yeah. Well, I want to put more effort into coaching, but I want to coach in my own way. But I want to use jujitsu and and karate as a tool for people's mental health. And I want to give back because martial arts gave me a life that I'm extremely grateful for. It gave me a community. Talking to guys like you two, like I'm very grateful for that, and I want to pay that forward. I think I can do that best from a coaching seat. But when I am a coach, I don't want there to be any question that I was a badass when I was competing. And listen to me because I know the way to deactivate a human without a weapon.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you fucking do. And here's what Shamrock, they do have a large following. They have an extremely large following. They like to consider themselves a regional show. I don't know the measure of one's wiener to be considered a regional show, but I do know that they do average over 10,000 followers like on their social medias. I know that their commentary, Jeremy Johnson's extremely sexy. But this way, at the end of the day, I mean, is this maybe your chance to get the highlight reel, knowing the platform's there, bro?
Absolutely.
And why'd you
Absolutely.
take the fight with Shamrock, if you don't mind me asking? I'm not saying anything bad, but it's yeah.
Well, I was looking for to get back in the cage immediately, and we definitely did look around at the other promotions, and I couldn't find anybody to fight me. And this is always a hard part for me. And I don't think that people are scared of me. I'm not one of those guys who's saying I'm so bad nobody wants to fight me. It's not that. These guys are trying to make strategic business moves. They're trying to take fights that are taking the path of least resistance. But
Hmm.
and I don't blame them for that because you don't want to fight me for less than 10 grand. But and I don't want to the same way I don't want to put on a world class fight for what regional shows pay. That's just being honest. No disrespect to anybody or what they're paying because I know they're paying what they can. I respect that too, and I'm happy for anything in the opportunity to showcase my skills. But Shamrock said they'd get me somebody. They kept their word. Other people did, so I'm grateful for that already. And I wanted to fight at home. That's a
Well, who
big
the
deal
fuck
for
is it?
me. Who am I fighting? Cody,
Yeah,
Cody Carrillo.
Cody. Stacy, who's Cody Carrillo?
It,
He's
I'll,
not Lucas
I'll,
Clay, so it don't matter.
Yeah, man.
I'll give you a little backstory on me and
Davis.
Cody Carrillo. I was supposed to fight him a few years back, but I got injured. I tore my abdomen. It was a
Mm.
partial tear around like the left side of my like abs, and it still gives me cramps. But I didn't like that anyway because I didn't want anybody thinking I pulled out because I was scared or anything. So I'm glad I get to fight Cody Carrillo, but it's going to be poetic. I want to try to finish the fight the same way I would have years ago.
Now, do you
And
think
how would you
that?
say that's gonna be? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
If you have it your way, how you ended it?
Oh, definitely a knockout. If I have it my way, definitely a knockout with my hands because my boxing is very underrated, and I have yet to just Sean O'Malley somebody just pop and walk off. I really want that, but I still got a quota to beat with that tornado kick and wheel kick.
Yeah, yeah.
now,
Hey,
now,
I'm
one.
always excited for a good knockout. I can't wait to see it.
So
Yes, sir.
with the explosion of PFL, with the explosion of when
That
Bellator
facial change.
merging, I mean, come on, you know
So
what's
that
going.
you saying it, bro. I'm like, who you know? It's like you've been in every conversation I've been having lately. But yeah,
Who
man,
cares? It's Astro.
man, I want that. I would love to get on that tournament, and get a shot at that $1,000,000. But that's life changing for anybody. I always say, you give me 20,000, I'll show you something. But if you give me 1,000,000, just. But anyway, yeah, I'd love to fight for PFL. But right now, I'm not picky. The reason I would really like to fight for the UFC is because then I can keep the promise I made to my teenage self. I said, hey, I'm going to put my mind to this and I'm going to make it to the UFC, even if it's a long shot, just so for the rest of my life, I can say I said I was going to do it and I did it. And that would be good to put on my headstone. I can I can die on that. But now PFL is looking pretty. I'm not picky, but I want to fight for either the UFC or PFL. I would have liked to fight for Bellator, but you didn't know how that worked out.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I was gonna bring up, and this is where it kind of ties into the shit that we talk about is where PFL and Bellator are under one, motherfucking banner, and the Saudi government donated a random ass $100 million to PFL because
All
here's the
money.
thing, they P dude,
That's
and
the new
here's
home of
why
fighting.
that was Saudi's because Saudi is part of BRICS, and BRICS hates anything to do with
Saudi
America.
Arabia has not announced that they are part of BRICS. S stands
They're,
for South Africa.
I
What's Brick?
understand, but oh,
It's the new
daddy.
form. It's the new currency coming out. Hey, fill them in.
Hey,
Brazil,
okay, I
Russia,
got you.
India,
Hey, check it
China,
out, daddy.
South Africa.
So, Lucas, as you know, I'm crazy. and I'm a huge conspiracy theorist that always comes.
This
to
is
do
not a
with BRICS.
conspiracy though. This
It's not though.
is
It's true.
a
It's
true
fact.
thing.
So Brazil,
Afghanistan is out. Is dropping the
Russia.
dollar as of January 1st.
What's A? Argentina or what's A?
No, it's
Argentina.
Brazil, Russia,
Brazil,
India,
Russia,
China,
China,
and
Sierra
South
is
Africa.
South Africa, and Saudi
Okay.
Arabia.
It's
is
60% of the world population.
Right, and that is their NATO. So
Okay,
so we
okay.
have NATO, they have BRICS, and
Gotcha.
so
Gotcha.
they're making their own motherfucking currency. Effective
Basically another dollar.
2024. Another
Is it
dollar. That's
tangible? Is it tangible or is it like a crypto?
it's tangible.
So as of right now, it's going to be tangible, backed in gold.
Really?
mineral
That's
bonds.
backwards.
But it's gonna
no, it's
make
gonna fuck
the
us.
American dollar shrink, bro.
Crash.
And Saudi Arabia is gonna start trading oil in BRICS instead of worldwide
Oh,
US dollar.
So
And this is
so it's
starting
gonna
Afghanistan
crash the
and-
dollar, yeah.
Dude, so
well, Afghanistan was the first one to announce that they'll be denouncing
Yeah.
the dollar and trade as of
Yeah.
January 1st.
So
Wait, so when they
when-
say this, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
No, well, no, what I was saying was when the WWE, and this is I'm dead ass, when the WWE
Went to Saudi Arabia.
No. When they are in Saudi Arabia, when the WWE sold to the motherfucking Endeavor, which is partnered with the UFC, they took away the power that they were gonna get from the WWE. So Saudi was like, you want to go with Endeavor WWE? Hey UFC, watch this. Hey PFL, have $100 million because that's like throwing $5 at a homeless dude in New Orleans compared to us, and that's what happened. It's just a big fuck you.
Fucking
And
trillionaires
so
over there.
right, dude. People don't realize it when they fucking really wake up. But Lucas is like, what the fuck is BRICS? His mind's probably going ape shit. As
Well,
soon
I'm
as
gonna
we
be on
enter.
Google all night.
But I'm saying that's the shit.
It's
that we
some shit
talked
to
about
look
on the
into.
It's the tired dads because as dads, we have to.
We're tired of the
adjust for
bullshit.
this. We're tired of the bullshit. We have to become making sure that it's okay to be a fucking dad, but you also have to wake up to what's coming, guys.
You know what's wild? I follow like 5 world news platforms, and I don't remember seeing anything about
You
this.
won't, dude. You won't.
You
dude,
won't.
because-
When do they tell Americans that it's going to be hell? They don't even talk
Yeah,
about the
they don't
cyber
tell-
attacks that
they want
China hit us in New
everyone-
York.
Right, they tell
Like,
everybody's
nobody's
gonna be
talking
okay,
about that.
bro. Why you think everybody follows us all the way in Russia, Ukraine? We
Like,
got
have you heard
followers
about
in
that?
Yeah, well, no, I just watched Leave the World Behind, and then I'm like, I just
Well,
I
nah,
read
hell,
the book too, but or listened
were
to
You
just
don't
hit-
think it's you don't
New
think
York
it's
was just
weird?
hit by a Chinese cyber attack, man. Like,
Right, but you
nobody's
don't think
talking
it's-
about the shit that's really going on.
in September
wild.
how Vegas casinos were shut down by a cyber attack, baby. They're coming.
Well,
And that's
man,
what's
if you
gonna
look
be
at our
fucking
infrastructure, nobody, and
It's
this is way off subject to MMA, and we're kind of going on another path. But when you
No,
look
we're
at
not.
all of the shit going on with our infrastructure, man, like when you look at train derailments, when you look at electric grids going down in the Carolinas, when you look at we are being attacked and the government doesn't tell us because they don't want to they think that we can't handle it. They don't want us to go into a sense of terror, fright, fear, whatever they want to call it. But we've been being attacked. And people want to say, oh, it's a one-off situation. I mean, realistically, it's not. When there's cyber attacks going on in New York, they're shutting down power grids. They're trying to test, like everybody knows, there's only 9 main infrastructure grids in the United States. They knock out a few of them, they knock out the United States. So it's we're at a point where people like yourself, belt warriors, right? Like you said, you enjoy that, you know what I'm saying? Combat. You enjoy the combat sports. And that's where we're at as far as people don't realize, like you said, not everybody knows how to fight.
Yeah.
They're about
And
to learn.
fighting comes in many forms. People don't know how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. They don't know how to adapt and be resilient, and because that's an exercise. That's something that even I personally had to exercise. I had talents for it, but it definitely is something you got to cultivate. And people, that's why so many people freeze up. That fight or flight. What am I trying to say?
You're right,
That fight or flight reaction hasn't been tested, and they haven't. They had those times where they froze up and they learned from those mistakes. So
I think it was Mike Tyson that said it. I will say my dad said it to me all the time, but I'm pretty sure it came from Mike Tyson. Was everybody's something until they get hit in the mouth, right?
Dude,
Amen.
You know,
Yeah,
and it's once you
it's
get hit
so
in that
true.
mouth, we gonna see who you are. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna see if you fight or flight instantly. Like
Yeah,
I've seen some of the toughest men, like you said, when we grew up. You know, if you stay in the same school district, you see that revelation of, oh, he whooped our ass in 5th grade. He's a tough guy in high school. You know, like I was the kid that when I ended up at Rittner, I didn't come from Rittner. You know what I mean? So you hear these stories about, oh, so and so's tough, so and so's tough. Look, I came from city schools. Like I've seen tough kids. I've seen a kid get stabbed in the hallway. You know what I mean? Like that was a
whoa.
tough
yeah,
motherfucker. He got stabbed and kept fighting. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like my definition of fighting compared to what I called Rittner's definition of fighting. I'm like, yeah, y'all are
Yeah, I
having
don't
like
know.
squabbles. You know what I mean? Like this isn't a fight. Like I've seen people try to kill each other in 7th grade. Like I need you to like I take the fighting thing. If we're gonna enter into what they call fisticuffs, I was
Yeah,
raised if they want to hit you, they want to hurt you, they want to kill you. And if they want to kill you, it
you
is your
gotta
job
kill
to
him
be there
first.
coming home. You gotta
Yeah,
come home. You know
exactly.
what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta be at work on Monday. That's my favorite
Hope that
motto.
doesn't I hope that doesn't get this episode canceled, nothing. But because I hope that nobody kills
Not at
anybody,
all.
but everybody should be dead ass serious about self defense. So
Yes.
Yes. Yes. If you
Yes.
people don't like you said it, I'm not gonna say a name. I have a friend. One punch. It was at a party. Hit somebody one time. Person fell. When the person fell, they hit their head on the steps. Head busted open into a coma. You know, like
Jesus Christ.
thing is, had that person known how to slip, the person known maybe how to take a punch. Like these are things that are real. You know, like people, oh, you don't know how to take a punch. No, you can learn how to take a punch. You also can learn how to slip the punch. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna shift my
yeah,
shoulders,
yeah,
move my hip, let that graze off of me. You know what I mean? Like not too many people understand the concept of don't stand there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like don't just stand there. Like,
yeah,
and there's
yeah.
too many. Like we're in America, and like I would say, in my personal opinion, this isn't a true statistic, but I would assume about 70% of people, when shit pops off, they just stand there. You know, and it's
You know,
get out
I
the way.
I would challenge that to up it to 75%. But
Probably.
I feel like it's very generous to hope that a quarter of people won't just freeze up because most people freeze.
So
You
I
know, it's
gotta
funny you
ask.
say that because forgive me, Devin, but it's funny you
No,
say
you're
this. My
good. Good.
psychiatrist, we were actually just talking about this, and we were talking about going back to Nazi Germany, right? And there was always this viewpoint of people would say, "Oh, if I didn't participate, I would get killed." But there was no science behind they would be killed if they didn't participate, right? And it goes into the world that we're in now of sheep. There's so many people that they make this inherent fear. It's a made up fear. You know,
Yeah,
you think something's going to happen to you when in reality, do the right thing. You know what I mean? Step up. The more that we can, in a way you want to say revolt, or the way you can put your foot down, or however you want to put it, there's too
amen.
many people that are complacent to just letting it go, right?
Yeah,
And now we're at a point where if you don't let it go and you don't just go with the flow, you're the bad guy. And it's just a crazy narrative where we're at now that people the way I like to look at it, those same people that want to fight for their rights won't fight for our country.
oh, yeah.
So
Preached on that, brother. It's like, and all of these fears and the this false evidence that makes everybody that gives everybody the excuse to not revolt or reform, reconstruct. You know, they're just accepted by the herd because previous generations tell us something will happen. Follow these rules, even if these rules aren't fair.
history
That's
shows us that to be false, and so many people don't look at the real narrative. So many people, this is the way I like to look at it. Everybody's like, look at history. Well, if we look at history and we look at the people that were complacent, nothing fucking happened.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like we can go to
it's true.
Boston Tea Party. We can talk about taxes and throwing tea overboard or whatever it may be. We can talk about slave revolutions. We can talk about, whatever it may be. The only
Women's
way
rights
change ever,
revolutions. We could, yeah,
but the only way changes ever came is through what so many people are afraid of, which is violence. And it's
yeah,
really what it is. When it comes down to it, violence changes things. It's
because
fucked up to
that's the
say it.
one
I
thing.
don't support just for the record.
Nature is very consistent on that. Every animal understands violence. Every organism wants self-preservation. So it's like you got to threaten that in order for people to listen sometimes. But something I spend way too much time on the internet, but
No,
I,
no.
I was on a forum and got into a argument where nowadays a revolution could be. It was a positive argument. It was with an intelligent dude,
Okay.
but
He said I
we
got an argument with it. I got an
yeah,
argument on the
Go
internet
ahead. I
today,
want to
babe.
let him
a
finish real
debate.
quick.
I guess a debate is a better word. I got into a debate with him, and I'm like, a revolution doesn't always have to be violent. Economic revolution is what the upper tier of society understands more. When it starts hitting their pockets, that's when they listen. And that's what I'll say about that. It'll
That's
be
for
way
sure. You're
more
not wrong.
effective.
I'm 100% behind it. Stacey Bond's behind that economic, and it's the hard part is getting everybody on the same bandwagon, right?
Exactly,
Because
because everybody's arguing.
well, not even that.
So
It's where do you shop, right? Like when you go into the mom and pop business, you don't find mom and pop grocery stores anymore, right?
No,
You have to go to Schnucks, you have to go to Kroger, you have to go to Deerbergs, you have to go to Aldi. Like
exactly.
we've limited the supply chain so much that they've made it where it makes it really difficult to step out and cause an economic collapse off of the fact that not too many people know where to source a local farm, which is something that I want me and Devin to maybe work on as far as getting a list for people to find their local eggs, find their local vegetables, because it's like you said, the only way to fight the fire right now is through the dollar, is through an
Yes.
economic battle, and that is the realest shit. Realest shit.
So really quick. Oh, hold on. I mean, come the 13th of January, when you're walking out to that fucking cage and you're half naked, staring at
What the
another
fuck,
man.
Devin?
I mean, is this not what's gonna happen? I mean,
Way
that's
to
just
make
like-
it fucking awkward, okay?
I'm
Like,
not. I'm trying to get him to crack. I'm just trying.
Wait.
I told him I was gonna get him.
Okay, wait a minute. You said half naked. I'm gonna be fully dressed until I get to the cage steps.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Oh, God damn it, Lucas! You're making me. Hold on. So when you're in the cage
got him.
and Joe Parisi is announcing your name, and as soon as he says your name, you think, "God damn it, Devin," and then you lay the whooping. Actually, hold on.
Ah,
And then when he says your
he
name,
loves the sound effect.
It's growing on me.
And so when Joe Parisi says your name and all you think is, "I'm going to kill this motherfucker," I have one question for you. Will you come to the gun show with me on February 9th?
Absolutely.
Let's go,
Absolutely.
baby!
It's happening.
Other than that,
Stacey will not
ladies,
be in attendance for that one for you guys.
that's
Just for
okay.
the record.
Ladies and gentlemen, our queens are calling us home, I'm sure. We have to get back to our kids for sure. Lucas, you need to come over for the next barbecue. I'm telling you,
Peter,
man.
tell me what it is.
Actually, January 27th, the Royal Rumble, which is a Saturday. So you pretty much have to be there. Because you guys have to go.
27.
2 weeks after your fight.
Yeah, man.
I know I got a wedding. I think I have a wedding that day. So
Canceled. No, you don't. So it's cool.
Dude, this dude is a
Royal
fool.
Rumble, so it's cool. But at the end of the day, we will all be there. Guys, Lucas, I fucking love you guys. Tune into his
I hope to have
fucking
you
fight.
on
Love
again,
you too.
boss. I hope to have you
Go
on again.
follow him
Yes,
at
sir.
Cassius Clay _MMA on Instagram. Look him up on Facebook. If you can give us a follow on the Spreaker app, if you can follow us on YouTube, if you can follow us on Twitter. We have so much news coming
Twitch.
this week on Twitch as well. There is so much
Where do they follow
positivity
us at,
coming.
Devin?
At Two Tired Dads, baby. Of
Just
course.
making sure.
What I'm saying is, guys, dads, we are in the Great War. Don't forget your fucking wife stocking. Don't forget your baby mama stocking. Don't forget your fucking kid
Kid
stocking.
stocking.
Don't forget to make sure that you put on deodorant. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my good friend Lucas Clay, I'm Devin James.
I'm Stacy Bonds.
And we are two
Tired Dads.
Love
Thank you
you
again for
babies.
coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we love it.
Hey, we're doing this again.
Oh, all the time.